Hello, everybody. This is Devo at Devo's Movie Reviews here, and this week's I will be reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, starring, of course, Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, Zoe Saldana as Gamora, Kieran Gillen as Nebula, Dave Bautista as Drax, Bradley Cooper as the voice of Rocket Raccoon, aka the Trash Panda, Vin Diesel as Baby Groot, with Kurt Russell as Ego the Planet, and Plum Timothée, I can't pronounce. I'm having trouble pronouncing her last name right now, but you know she played Mantis. I'm brain farting on her right now. Featuring Sylvester Stallone, Michael Rooker, James Corden as Taserface. It's Taserface, that is. And if I mentioned Kurt Russell as Ego the Planet, and of course Sean Gunn, brother of director James Gunn, who directed this masterpiece. And I'll say it starts out good. Of course, Guardians of the Galaxy had Marvel's just got a great soundtrack. So I kind of come down to it. Kind of counts uh, the idea of making Ego the Living Planet Star Lord's dad was kind of a little bit bonkers. I mean, when a good storyline of the whole the Jasana Spartax, which was the comic book and the Disney Disney Channel animated series. If you haven't watched that on Disney Plus, but I mean that one's more accurate, but to the comic, but the MCU has the better cast because I'd say Chris Pratt is Star Lord, not that dude from Boy Meets World. And I got to give it to old Blue Marl, aka Yondu. I mean, he just knocked it out of the park. But then again, he's always kind of like I mean, he's so underrated. I almost consider him the redneck Bruce Campbell. And back to the whole idea of whole ego. I mean, Josiah Spartax would make more sense, though it would have canceled out the whole beginning plot of part of the first Guardians movie with Quill was Peter Quill's mom dying of cancer. When he finds out that Ego gave it to her because he couldn't go back to see her so many times because selfish little bastard chose him. And of course, especially after Gamora discovered all those bodies of alien kids, and I'm just like, yeah. After Yondu basically gets kicked out of the Ravagers for that mission, after Stallone playing like the head Ravager in charge, kind of deal. Kind of not familiar with his character, but well, one that was not sure if he was in the comic or just in a or just made up one for the movie. But overall, that was a decent plot, and of course, excellent uses of the soundtrack. Like from one point with the beginning of the movie where you had Mr. Blue Sky over the blob monster before they with Jax making a joke about how he doesn't like wearing armor because he's like, I got sensitive nipples. of course, to the whole scene of to the excellent use of Mr. Blue Sky. Also, but there with the ambush on the Ravagers on the planet Berhart with Glenn Campbell's Southern Nights, which is which was about fitting, out of the fitting, cause Campbell, cause the Rhinestone Cowboy died a week or so after the DVD and Blu-ray release, and at least I can see one edge over the first movie was at least some country songs in there, even though it was just one with. But hey, 60s and 70s country, great, along with that one scene, that spaceship killing montage over Jane Americans coming a little bit closer. Yondu's whistling and such, which, of course, is a whole inaccurate part of. Only in the movie versions he did that, where in the comics he was an archer. And then I gotta give it old Karen Gillan, who played Nebula. Talk about some space G.I. Jane too. G.I. Jane. I gotta give us more of that. And of course with old with James Corden as Tater's face, I'll say it, which, in my opinion, is about the best thing he's done. Because I'm just was never big on late night television, and that's before they I got political. I don't care what side you're on and all that. Blah blah blah. Just those things were just never my thing. But he did an excellent job, and I gotta give it. And the whole back to the whole deal of going from ego to little planet instead of Jasana Spartax. Man, like I said, cancel. If they did that, it would kind of cancel out the whole cancer plot from his mom. But hey, it was basically out of the Star Wars playbook of the hero with daddy issues, as if Han Solo was a Jedi instead of Luke, given how Star Lord was the poster child for Han Solo, since Guardians came first. And of course, the whole ego thing, bonkers. It does have some good jokes in there, but still. As plus, especially since Star Lord was supposed to have a sister who was full on Spartax, and then of course like I said, would have canceled out they did that. That was kind of done that from the first movement with the cancer plot and beginning, because well, in the comics and the PS4 Xbox, I can't. I'm more of I'm a PlayStation guy. I can't keep up with which Xbox is currently out. So, game, but still, that was kind of the superior one. Whereas Quill on Alien Invasion, and of course Quill goes up live with the Ravagers for a bunch of years where you get to the events of the first movie where he meets Gamora, Rocket, Groot, Drax, and of course back to the whole Southern Nights part where they had the whole taser bombs and the taser mines and such deal, kind of given with. But hey, that was like a hilarious montage to that song, along with the chain by Fleetwood Mac, and that whole sentimental part with the whole Cat Stevens song on a Zoom, which practically for something that's dated, Even I didn't know about that until Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So back then, back when I was growing up, I was about like Star Lord myself, with wanting a tape player over while everybody else is having iPods, which always kind of one big plot hole of the Guardians trilogy. Uh, One upcoming, if you count. Then they had Infinity War, the Guardians trilogy, and well, MCU period, because Guardians were in Infinity and War Endgame. Then they had that Disney Plus holiday special. And of course, but hey, either way, even though I still think they should just Kurt Russell should have been just on Spartax better instead of that. But hey, he played a damn good villain and an excellent. I mean, just he knocked it out of the park either way. Along with an excellent casting, cause hell, I mean, especially with Yondu's heroic sacrifice after being excommunicado from the Ravagers, which also had a good cameo by Tommy Flanagan, aka Chibs from Sons of Anarchy. But overall, I'm about to give this one about a 4.5 out of 5, just because of yeah, I kind of liked I did the depiction in the comics and the games better, which which would happen for those. I would have gave it a 5, but yeah, I'm gonna be about want to say about a. That's why he kind of gets a 4.5, because I kind of wanted to give it a 5, but I discovered better variations. I mean, just and of course with Ego being a villain, at least he got his. I mean, just back to the whole him challenging his powers, Star Lord being like a half god and all, which explains how he's able to handle an Infinity Stone. But overall, I gotta give it about a 4 out of 5. I hope y'all like, subscribe, and enjoy, and I keep dishing them out.